Hello, you're watching ERi-TV. Welcome to English News Broadcast. These are the top stories. Brigadier General Nagash Tasfatsion passed away. Eritrean nationals in the Republic of Sudan organized memorial service on the passing away of Mr. Al-Amin Mohammed Said. The global COVID-19 cases and death toll continue to rise. And Japan unveils record $490 billion stimulus to boost pandemic recovery. The local news. Veteran freedom fighter Brigadier General Nagash Tasfatsion has passed away on November 18 at the age of 84 due to long illness. Brigadier General Nagash joined EPLF in 1977 and served his nation and people in various military posts, including commander of EPLF Training Department and Ibrahim Afa Military Academy. After independence, Brigadier General Nagash served his country in various posts of senior military leadership, including as commander of Officers Academy and Eritrean Defense Forces Training Center. He was also a member of Constitution Commission. Brigadier General Nagash Tasfatsion, who was born in 1937, devoted 44 years of his life to the service of his nation and people with exemplary commitment. Funeral service of Brigadier General Nagash was conducted today at the Asmara Martyr Cemetery in the presence of senior government and PFDJ officials, army commanders, family members, and friends. General Philippos Waldo Yohannes, Chief of Staff of the Eritrean Defense Forces, Mr. Yamana Gebrab, Head of Political Affairs of the PFDJ, Brigadier General Abraham Andom, Commander of the Eritrean Defense Forces Training Center, and Major General Tekhlai Habdeselassie, Commander of the Eritrean Air Force, laid wreath at this cemetery. Brigadier General Nagash Tasfatsion is survived by his daughter, expressing deep sorrow by the passing away of the veteran freedom fighter. Brigadier General Nagash Tasfatsion, the Eritrean Defense Forces Training Center, expresses condolences to the family and friends. Eritrean nationals in the Republic of Sudan organized memorial service on the passing away of Mr. Al-Amin Mohammed Said, Secretary of the People's Front for Democracy and Justice. At the event in which Mr. Isa Ahmed Isa, Eritrean ambassador to the Sudan, members of the diplomatic corps, religious leaders, heads of national associations, as well as Sudanese friends and nationals took part, the nationals expressed readiness to implement the trust of the fallen heroes by reinforcing their participation in national affairs. Speaking at the occasion, Ambassador Isa Ahmed presented briefing history of the struggle and contribution of veteran fighter Mr. Al-Amin Mohammed Said during the armed struggle before and after independence. A book of condolence that will stay open until November 21st has been opened at the Eritrean Embassy in Sudan for diplomats, Eritrean friends, as well as for Eritrean nationals. In related news, nationals in Juba, Republic of South Sudan, organized similar memorial service on the passing away of Mr. Al-Amin Mohammed Said, Secretary of the PFDJ. At the event, brief history on the leading role of the veteran fighter, Mr. Al-Amin Mohammed Said, in the struggle for independence and nation building was presented by Mr. Amara Gebrab, Chairman of the Eritrean Community, and Mr. Tsagai Mahari, Head of Consular Affairs at the Eritrean Embassy in South Sudan. The occasion featured with cultural and artistic performances. We have an announcement from the Minister of Health. 21 patients have been diagnosed positive for COVID-19 and tests carried out today at quarantine centers and testing stations in the central or southern regions. Out of this, 8 patients are from quarantine center 1 and testing stations in Mahal Katama 3, Sambal 2, Gajeret 1, and Alot 1 central region. 13 patients are from quarantine centers in Mendefara 2, Adhwala 9, Araza 1, and Adghayah 1 southern region. On the other hand, 7 patients who have been receiving medical treatment in hospitals in the central region have fully recovered and have been discharged from these facilities. The total number of recovered patients has accordingly increased to 6,922, while the number of deaths stands at 53, and the total number of confirmed cases in the country to date has increased to 7,133. Minister of Health, Asmara, November 19, 2021. Now back with international news. After a short break. Welcome back. European countries saw epidemic rebounds, and some of them will tighten anti-epidemic restrictions. This according to local health authorities. Britain recorded more than 46,800 new COVID-19 cases in the past 24 hours, the highest record since October, bringing the total to more than 9.7 million. This according to the country's Department of Health and Social Care. Over the last 7 days, the number of new COVID-19 cases in the country has increased 14.5% compared to the previous week. The French Public Health Agency today said the country registered more than 20,300 daily cases on the day, exceeding 20,000 cases for 2 days in a row, taking the cumulative number of cases to 7.3 million as of this afternoon. The number of daily COVID-19 infections in Germany continued to rise strongly, reaching a record high of more than 65,000 since the pandemic began. This is according to the Robert Koch Institute for Infectious Diseases. The country's 7-day COVID-19 incidence rate climbed to 336.9 cases per 100,000 people, setting a new high for 11 consecutive days. Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida announced a record $490 billion stimuli for the world's third largest economy today as he looks to shore up the country's patchy pandemic recovery. Kishida said the 56 trillion yen injection, the third since the COVID crisis struck last year, is enough to deliver a sense of safety and hope to the Japanese people. The vast spending plans are expected to be approved by the cabinet later in the day and reportedly include cash and coupon handouts to families with children under 18 who meet income cap, as well as pay rises for nurses and care workers. The move comes after the Japanese economy shrank far more than expected in the second quarter as leaders struggled to overcome virus surge by imposing containment measures in Tokyo and other cities. Russian guided missile frigate Admiral Gorshkov has successfully test-fired a 3-Con hypersonic cruise missile against a target located in the White Sea waters. This according to the Russian Defense Ministry. The testing was conducted amid fresh confrontation between Russia and the West. Last week, Britain's most senior military officer, General Nick Carter, said there is a greater risk of an accidental war breaking out between the West and Russia than any time since the Cold War, with many of the traditional diplomatic tools no longer available. Tensions have been mounting in Eastern Europe in recent weeks after the European Union accused Belarus of flying in thousands of migrants to engineer a humanitarian crisis on its border with EU member state Poland, a dispute that threatens to draw Russia and NATO. India's northwest state of Punjab, one of the country's major agricultural regions, has been shrouded by heavy smog as a result of intensive stub burning activities. Over the last few days, serious air pollution has hit areas across northern India from New Delhi, the capital city in the northwest, to the state of Punjab, and the northwest cities are covered by smog. Local residents said the air quality was actually much better than it was a month ago. There are 2 harvest seasons a year, October and May, when the air in Amsterdam and the driest. And October usually sees the rampant stubble burning activities. Punjab is a major agricultural state in India, and also where stubble burnings is the most serious. And a reminder of the top stories. Brigadier General Nagash Tesfatsion passed away. Eritrea nationals of the Republic of South Sudan and Sudan organized memorial service on the passing away of Mr. Al-Amin Mohammed Saeed. The global COVID-19 cases and deaths toll continue to rise. And Japan unveils record $490 billion stimulus to boost pandemic recovery. That's it for today. Thanks for watching.